Hello, this is Lee with 82 Gamma 12, and this will be video 22 of my Talavera playthrough series, comparing through 3 different produced games over the topic of Talavera, which was a battle that took place in Spain along the Tajas River between the French under King Joseph and Marshal Victor. And he also had Jordan. I don't know if he was, I guess he was a marshal as well. But we are on the Libraries of Napoleonic Battles produced game, Napoleon's Quagmire, which includes Talavera. And so this will be the 9 o'clock turn. And take this card. And let's see what we're going to do with it. Guess I'm going to put it. I should put it right here. I'll turn it up face up so we know. Okay. All right, so let's get a look at the battlefield. And as I said, it is the 9 o'clock turn, so we have to check weather. And let's see, modifiers. There's no modifier at 9 a.m. So we're going to have fair or heat. So I rolled a 2, so we're going to have fair. Okay. All right, next thing is we also have to check for I guess we have the card segment. So they get a card. The French get their next card. Okay. And the card is spent cavalry. So it can be spent during, or used during the enemy combat step. So right now we've got mobile defense, aid to camp, which basically allows a leader that is captured to escape that and not be captured. And then with the spent cavalry. So we'll have to use one of these cards for the movement. Okay. Which will, if we're just using it for the movement, it will not affect the victory points. So, all right, next thing, we have the supply segment. So we've got to check our units to make sure that they're in supply. And possibly the only units that would be out of supply would be, let's see, I don't know if we can actually see, there they are. So if I move down a little bit, there we go. Here are the supply wagons, and let's see how the supply is affected here with in the Talavera. See if it says anything about supply. Okay, nothing there. Now let me look in the earlier part. So normally a baggage train can basically put a core in supply. But Cuesta and the British, of course, are not in that kind of regular situation. So I was looking to see if that was the case, or so it looks like no more than one stack belonging to a different formation may trace to each friendly baggage train. So I would think that they would, because of the way that the Spanish army is set up, they've got two baggage trains, that it's some place in here that they would talk about the supply. Okay, here it is. So, sure enough, right here. That's what I was looking for. It says the Anglo-Allied Army baggage train provides supply for the entire army of Portugal. Each Spanish baggage train provides supply for up to 5 formations. Okay. Alright. So, that solves that. Okay, so now all we have to do is we just have to look at the supply and check the length of the supply line can go. So as long as they can trace 14 hexes to a supply. So we have, well, I got to move the thing again here. Okay. So right there is the supply hex. Okay, this is the Anglo supply, and they probably should have been moved up here. Okay, these two are fine where they're at, except you have some Spanish units that have went up to the north there, and they should have had one of these supply trains move up with them. That's my mistake. But we don't have any other supply hex. Okay. For the French, which that's what we're checking right now, their supply hex is way back here. Okay. And then their supply wagons are stretched out to different places. So we're looking at the French right now, not focused too much on the British. So, okay, so if we look at, and this is where you kind of like, you have to anticipate that this supply is coming. So so that you can kind of group your units together so that they are in supply. So for example, I've got 3rd Cavalry here. Okay, I could only supply 1 extra stack with each one of these supply wagons. So you've got 4th Corps, which is the Bastiani, who's kind of in a bad spot, but we can trace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, we can trace through this guy too. So those guys are in supply. This guy's in supply, that unit. And of course, these artillery units right here, all of these are in supply. And so I can supply either the artillery here or these 2 cavalry units down here. And so I'm going to supply the cavalry units, and I have to put an out of supply marker on this artillery unit right there. I can't supply both. They have to be in the same, they have to be in a stack. So I choose to not supply the artillery unit. Alright. And here we have the Reserve Corps baggage train, and all of the reserve units are right here. They're within range. Okay, I don't have to check them, they're close enough. Now I could use the reserve right here, which I might do. Or I might want to use the reserve to help supply Latour up here, because Latour is going to be, he's going to have some units out of command. I mean, out of supply. Now Trip up here, I got to check Trip right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 10. He's close enough. 10, and then this artillery unit here, that's 10, 11, 12, 13. So they're in. So all of Victor's units are going to be in supply, because here's the supply wagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 will be way back here. So if we put, let's see what we got here. I think that's the artillery. Okay, so I guess I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to put this unit in supply, and then with the reserve, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I can put that unit. And then with the, I already used this one. So that means that this unit and this unit are both out of supply. And you may be asking, well, why is that a big deal? Well, let me find those markers. I need to just dump these all into a bowl or something instead of having them in this tray. It's much easier to find stuff. Okay, I don't have it very organized very well, because sometimes what's on the front is not the same for each counter. Okay, like out of supply. For these, they're both reorganizing, but that's not always the case. So this cavalry unit and then this artillery unit that's underneath Latour are both going to be out of supply. Alright, so the French, other than that, I've got 3 units that are out of supply. Now, out of supply units suffer the effects of demoralization, but the effects are not cumulative. So if we look at demoralization, okay, so 1 is subtracted from the initiative rating of demoralized officers and combat units anytime that their initiative rating is referred. Movement has no effect. Combat, they may not advance after combat. Demoralized cavalry may not charge. It also affects their reorganization. So they have to wait until noon to be able to get a chance to gain their status back, normal status. So it's really not going to be that much of an effect on the artillery. It's the cavalry and infantry units that would be affected more because their initiative rating is going to go down. So, and I guess since Malhad and Latour here, if I make them out of order, out of supply, then that's going to lower I don't think that would affect the leaders. I think that is only if they're demoralized because of loss of units, not because of but I could be wrong. It does say that but that refers to units that have lost, become demoralized because of losses, not because of out of supply. But it does say that's an effect. So that means both those leaders have a lower initiative rating. So alright, so that takes care of the supply, and that's how that works. And so now we go to recovery segment, which we don't have. There is, let's see, the French have lost a unit. Now let's see if I flip it over. Yeah. And those cavalry units, let's see, they could gain those back. The artillery is gone. They're not coming back. But and this, I'm talking about these units that are over here on the loss chart. You can see both of them. You've got units here. The British have lost 2 leaders, Hill and Campbell, Anson Cavalry, okay, and two artillery batteries. While the French have lost, this would be like a Chauchet, maybe is how you pronounce that. So, part of 4th Corps. So they could actually possibly get reorganized. But if I do that, then that ties up the leader. And so I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to tie up the leader. On the French side, we don't. So we want to keep pressing against the British here. So we are not going to tie up the leader here. All right. Okay, so now we go to the reorganization segment. And we're not doing that for the French. And then we go to the command segment. And so Joseph, as I've talked about in an earlier video, is only able to place himself, his own units, the reserve corps in command. He's like an commander officer, like Davout. So he would have to put his own command, okay, in command. His own units, which would be the reserve corps. So the rest of these guys are going to have to roll for their initiative. And we're going to start up here at the top with Latour. Now, as I said earlier, Latour is out of supply. So instead of a 3, he's got a 1. Okay, but before we do that, I believe I have to move, if I'm going to move the reserve corps, okay, so Noah, go ahead and roll for the it says that the phasing player may attempt to place formations that did not receive a command point in command. Okay, so if I'm moving individual units, trying to move them by initiative, then I have to roll that after the in command forces move. All right, so we're gonna roll for Latour. I got a 5, so he's out of command. So he's not going to be able to do anything. Okay, so then we go down here to Victor, who's got a 4. I rolled a 5, so he's out of command. He's not going to be able to do anything. Okay, and let's see, we don't have to roll for Joseph, so let's now roll for Sebastiani, who's right here. Rolled another 5. What, 3 5s in a row? Okay. And then we have Malhad right there. And instead of a 4, he's going to have a 3 because he's out of command. I mean, out of supply. And so he failed. So the only units that are going to be able to move are going to be the reserve corps. So all right. Oops. So let's check out, see what the reserve corps is going to do. Like how that stuck on there. There we go. And then this here. So let's see what they do, what they're able to do. They might be able to do something down here. I have to choose a card here, so I guess I'm going to play this. I'm going to use the spent cavalry just for the movement. So 4 and 6. Okay, so we've got one thing is this is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 up to there. We're going to move okay, so this artillery unit is going to be in road column, and they're going to move 1. Well, they could just stay as they are and just move across. It costs an extra point though, and either way they're going to end up, I think, in the same spot. So 1. Now if they were on this, they would move a lot faster on road column, but on the trail they're not going to move as fast. So 1, and then over the bridge is +1, so +1 is 2, then 3, and then 4. We go right there. And so Godino or Odino is going to he's gonna come down here to attack De Parque. So 1, 2 right there. We can actually get a I think we can get a combined arms bombardment and then attack here and here and here. We'd have infantry, cavalry, and artillery. I have to check that whether or not that's something that you can do with the bombardment. So okay, so we're going to move to there, and then it's light cavalry up here, the 27th Chasseurs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 6, 7. Cost 1 to stack. And then what do we got here? Oh, we got 5. Okay, so we can actually go 1. Leave Joseph here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then Joseph can move up to this artillery unit right there. Okay. So that takes care of the movement. No one else is able to move. Except for, let's see, I could actually move or attempt to move Trip. Let me back up here a little bit. Okay.